Excuse after excuse why I can't. I don't know about you, but I was tired of hearing my own nonsense. If you don't transcend your inner saboteur and make her your inner strength, she will get you every time. She will try to hold you down until you give up and turn into a zombie. The walking dead. Alive, but not living. Many women died a long time ago. They are just waiting to be buried at age 80. I don't want that to be us. Welcome to Self-Mastery School for Moms, where you learn how to silence your inner saboteur, awaken your energy body, and connect to your higher self. You will go from mom to master, so you can make each day your masterpiece. My name is Janice Nelson, author and self-mastery teacher of Fabulous One philosophy. I'm on a mission to help you become the awakened mom. You are Fabulous One, and all you have to do is remember what you forgot. Whenever we choose to do something, it has to come from a deeper part within yourself. There has to be a strong why. What is moving you into the direction of who you are becoming? With that said, I wanted to tell you my 8 reasons why I have created Fabulous One philosophy. Good morning, Fabulous One. Before we start, I want to apologize for my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather. You can hear my voice sounds a bit crackling, but I'm too excited to record these videos, so I hope it's not too distracting. So here we go. I'm very passionate about mothers awakening to their higher self, and I'm eager to share why. I'm going to give you 8 reasons why now is the best time for you to awaken. Let's get into it. Reason number 1. My child will fall asleep regardless if I'm awake or not. I must awaken, but as well have a formula, a method to help my child awaken. The human matrix wants you to believe our children are perfect angels and we, the parents, are the bad guys who don't allow our children to evolve because we condition them with our unconsciousness. That is a half-truth, completely distorted to serve a false narrative. Children are jerks for a reason. It's waking up the parents and teaching us unconditional love. The universal mind has designed us to fall asleep. After the age of 7, our frontal cortex kicks in, and that's when the false self shows her face. At age 21, our children will be unconscious. Right now, it's happening alarmingly faster because of the internet, conditioning on steroids. Our teenagers are suffering beyond our comprehension. Just because I woke up as a mom does not mean my child will. She will have to go through the whole spiritual awakening process herself. I wrote Fabulous One philosophy because one day my daughter, who is 11 years at the moment, will ask me how I did it, and I have something tangible to show her and help her through the whole process. I'm here on YouTube because of my daughter. I'm not just telling her, but showing her what it means to be connected to your higher self. I am documenting my journey. 10 years from now, my daughter will have an arsenal of videos she can study if she wishes to learn. And the day she is a mom, she has my book, YouTube channel, podcast to start her awakening. My big why is my own flesh and blood, and that's why I will never stop or give up spreading my message. I'm going to be here for a while. Y'all better get used to me. Reason number 2. Demystify the mystery. Make it tangible so we can all wake up, not just a select few. Create a roadmap that we can follow and pass on to our loved ones. I wrote Fabulous One philosophy to make it real, not just some abracadabra mystical speech. I turned chaos into order and I'm now presenting it to you in a logical way so it makes sense and it will open your heart. Life becomes easier when you understand it. A confused mind is a lost mind. I wrote Fabulous One philosophy to help you understand soul, mind, and body, so it's easier for you to connect to your higher self. Understanding is the key to your awakening. Reason number 3. Motherhood is much harder than we made to believe, and if you complain, you might come across as ungrateful. But it's the hardest thing you will ever do. But in the meantime, life doesn't stop. Bills need to be paid and errands need to be run. Inflation makes everything more expensive, and now you need 2 incomes instead of 1. Life is becoming super expensive, but no help for mothers to make their life easier. You're expected to be superwoman. Work outside the home and inside the home like a robot. If not careful, you will drown in your day-to-day tasks and will lose yourself in the midst. Motherhood wakes up your energy body, and it's time you learn what that means. You're giving an opportunity to connect to your higher self and disconnect from the matrix, so you no longer feel overwhelmed by it all. Shame and guilt for not being a superwoman will no longer affect you. You will take yourself out of the rat race and see yourself for who you really are. I wrote Fabulous One Philosophy to help you see another reality that is right here in front of you, but you need to open that door. Motherhood is the gateway to your higher self. Fabulous One Philosophy shows you how. Reason number 4, I'm Generation X. And it means I'm the last generation that knew of a time before the internet. I grew up during the Madonna movement, the era where women claimed their independence and power. The fewer clothes you wore, the more powerful you thought you were. Walk around half naked to earn your respect. I have done some shameful things when I was a single woman I'm not proud of and could possibly write some books about. I had raised my masculine energy to where my divine feminine had no more space to shine. I was equally brainwashed and thought I had to become this super sexy, successful woman who ruled her world and the men in it. But who teaches you how to be a grounded, wise, and eloquent queen who treats her man like a king? A woman who cares about others and creates harmony and synergy within her environment. A woman with many friends who love her for who she is. A woman who doesn't have to pretend to be something she is not. I learned it's my way or the highway. I learned how to be a toxic masculine woman, and that is as well how I treated the men in my life. Until I met my husband, a true divine masculine energy. A king in human form. We have been married now for 17 years. It was for the first time I remembered who I was, and our bond woke up the divine feminine within me. But it was only until I became a mother I understood true unconditional love. It was for the first time I remembered who I was, and our bond woke up the divine feminine within me. But it was only until I became a mother I understood true unconditional love. And it was for the first time I saw my husband as divine. With this book, I want to show you that men are not our enemy, and they are here to help us awaken the true divine feminine within, if you let them. But you will need to surrender your ego to your man. And in my book, I tell you how. The most powerful you is when the yin and yang energies unite as one. When you become whole, your false self ceases to exist and the true self will stand up. Reason number 5. When I became a mother, my days were full and I wondered, where would I go from here? I'm not free to move as I please. I have all these responsibilities towards my family, but I'm not just a mom or a wife. I am me. I had to ask myself, who am I and what do I want? I love my husband and I love my daughter. They are the most important to me, but not to the extent I will neglect myself and my personal growth. But social media doesn't help. It just makes you feel bad about not being more than you are. Even worse, you think you might have made a mistake. And the human matrix inspires you to get rid of your role as a mom or wife in order to feel better again. It's trickery, an illusion to keep you stuck in the matrix. And I had to go through a spiritual awakening to realize my life belongs to me. Nobody dictates or decides how valuable my choices are but me. This is my life, and I choose to live it as I please. I am in a complete space of peace and harmony. The world can't get to me. I disconnected from the world, but found a way to live in it. I wrote Fabulous One Philosophy to find new meaning of who I am and show you what I have done, so you can do the same. Contrary to popular belief, enlightenment is not the end. Integration is. When you can be the light in a world of darkness, when you can stand in your truth, even when those around you don't believe you, when you can hold your head up high, even when others want you to bow down and stay small. No, sis, you didn't come to this earth to be nobody. You came here to be somebody on your terms. The world has us programmed by their set of rules. I call it the human matrix because it was created by the collective unconscious. But here's something nobody tells you. There has to be order before you can be creative. Creativity will only flourish within the boundaries of the rules of engagement. That's how I ended up creating my Fabulous One framework. A you matrix, your own set of rules that disconnects you from the rules of the collective unconscious, but still allows me to thrive inside the human matrix regardless of what others think of me. Fabulous One framework set me free to be me. Reason number 6. I consider myself to be a smart and ambitious woman, but it's not my strongest character trait. I'm not highly educated. I have a high school diploma and English is my second language. I'm from Holland and I speak Dutch. What stands out is that I have heart, courage, and I'm passionate about my beliefs and I will follow them wherever they lead me. That's how I met my husband. He was working in Holland at the time, but knew he would not stay here. He asked me to marry him and leave my country. I took a leap of faith because I believed in myself, not him. We have a beautiful little girl. My life is great, except every time I have my heart set on self-actualization, I fail. Every time. I have a brilliant idea. I start strong, but I don't follow through, lose motivation and end up sabotaging myself. Very often because of something that happened outside of my control. I always end up where I started. I used to be a successful model before I got pregnant, and I lost my job when I had the baby. I was overweight and I did not know how to get my body back. Lucky for me, my husband had a secure job, so I ended up being a stay-at-home mom with his consent. It was a blessing in disguise because it allowed me for the first time to sit still and figure this out. I took my time. I studied many books about my health and body. I even got certified in advanced nutrition. I thought my next endeavor was to help moms lose weight and get their body back. I learned so many new things I was eager to share. I started helping my mom friends, and I noticed even with all the info and great plans I gave them, they still found excuses not to do the work. My light bulb came on and I realized I am the same, maybe not with my body, but definitely with other things. I went on the search to figure out why we women always sabotage ourselves. I had to go through a spiritual awakening to get to these answers. I understand now how our mind works against us every time. The inner saboteur stops you in your tracks. Do not think for a moment. Even when you're successful, you're off the hook. I took my job as a successful model for granted and did not know one day it could be taken away from me. When something leaves your life outside of your control, it's like you lose the will to fight. You surrender, but it's not because you want to. It's more because you give up. That's where I went wrong. Complacency will get you every time because the inner saboteur tells you, it's all right to take it easy. It's all right, do nothing. It's all right, just accept yourself as you are. keep eating that cake. Don't read a book. Watch TV instead. And yes, please go hang out with your friends like the good old days and get drunk. Spend all your time on the phone gossiping and complaining about your life with your friends. Never push yourself to go from good to great. Always balancing on the edge between good, and with the slightest push you will fall on the pedestal of suffering. Excuse after excuse why I can't. I don't know about you, but I was tired of hearing my own nonsense. If you don't transcend your inner saboteur and make her your inner strength, she will get you every time. She will try to hold you down until you give up and turn into a zombie. The walking dead. Alive, but not living. Many women died a long time ago. They are just waiting to be buried at age 80. I don't want that to be us. I wrote Fabulous One Philosophy to show you how to turn lead into gold, the alchemical process from a caterpillar into a butterfly. I'm not saying this is an easy process, but it's the only process to stop your inner saboteur. If you're like me, frustrated because you have great ideas, but you can't stick with them, finding yourself jumping from one idea to another, never giving one thing your all, Fabulous One Philosophy FOP will give you tremendous insight into your mind and where you might have taken a left instead of sticking the course. And I give you the tools to course correct. Reason number 7. I realized my inner saboteur is not who spirituality says she is. She's not the bad girl. She's the forgotten part of me. The parts of me I neglected to develop because somewhere in my childhood I decided these parts weren't worthy to be seen. So there are parts of me that are mature and behave according to my age. And then there are parts of me that are stuck at 6 years old or 12, depending on when I hit that part of me in the closet. We think we do the right thing for others to like us, but what ends up happening as we get older, we feel fake, not authentic in our expression of self, but we have learned to just shut up and be quiet. I've always been outspoken, but now I feel brave, courageous, bold, and untouchable. My words just flow. My inner saboteur became my inner strength because I could see I was hiding parts of me that needed to shine. When you hurl yourself into the abyss and realize it's a featherbed. Terence McKenna. I allowed my shadow back into the light, and she integrated into the whole of me. Once you become your higher self, you don't just see yourself, but you see all your sisters. If I give myself permission to speak, I will do the same for you. I will listen to your truth and I will accept it. I'm no longer offended or feel insulted. I will work with what you give me and leave the rest up to the universal mind. No more judgment. I am free to be friends with whomever I meet. I will be open and honest. I will not judge them for their opinion because I will freely share mine. My aim is to create synergy between us. Except you are on a different frequency, but under no circumstances lesser than me. I have transcended duality and I can see through the eyes of my higher self and create unity within my environment. All my relationships improved with those who can stomach me. My relationships with my parents, siblings, husband, daughter, my friends, of course, you won't be everybody's cup of tea. But you need to be okay with that without judging them. Allow them to dislike you. Allow them to be against you. Don't love them any less. If you want to be judgment-free, allow the world to judge you. Fabulous One Philosophy will set you free of judgment. Reason number 8. Last but not least. No disrespect, but we live in the 21st century and we're still taking advice from people walking around with long beards and clothes from the 1500s telling us to meditate and quiet our mind. Seriously? No. We need to learn how to think. It's time for an upgrade because technology is advancing faster than our minds can keep up with. It's because we are still stuck in the Stone Ages. following teachings that might have worked back then but no longer apply. Our world has completely changed. Women work now. We can vote, we have rights, we can speak our mind. We can change the world with our words, but we allow old dogma and traditional teachings to still rule our mind and body in today's modern times. Not good. I don't care what you are. Stay-at-home mom, working mom, homeschooling mom, work from home mom. Guess what the common denominator is? Mom. You know why couples can't make it work? Because you keep thinking you have to behave according to certain old psychological models. Men need to be providers. No, they don't. They can choose to provide because women contribute financially as well nowadays. It's between the couple to decide what works best. Women need to know their place. What place? Oh, in the kitchen? Yeah, right. Don't get me started. It's the 21st century. If women can work, men can do the dishes. End of discussion. You are a woman without a husband and no children? Aw, poor you. What? Absolutely not. You are free to do whatever you want. Go live your life, sister. One day, you will meet the guy. But until that time, figure out who you are. Don't let the world trap you in their web, making you feel you need to be Susie Homemaker by day and Superwoman at night. Otherwise, you are not worthy. Don't believe the lies the Matrix tells you that if you are a mom and or a wife, your life belongs to your family and you shouldn't be ambitious or want more for yourself. And if you dare step out of the box, shame on you for neglecting your husband and child. This is a discussion between you and your husband and only you and your husband. And the rest of the world can do you know what. But here's what kills me the most. After clearly identifying our mental distress, the spiritual community tells you the solution to solve all your problems is meditation and yoga. Come on. I'm sorry, but I'm just tired of hearing about meditation and yoga because we're not doing it as a practice, but as a means to an end. Meditation so you can reach enlightenment, so you can what? Obtain that shiny object? How very disingenuous. Meditation works. Absolutely. It's one of the best things you can ever do, but not if you're doing it for an end result. The human matrix tells us to live up to our full potential, but it doesn't show us how. They just want us in constant agony over wishing and desiring things we can never have until we cave in. Some might sit still and suffer in silence, but a lot of us will go out into the world demanding what we deserve. The dark feminine has been awoken, and you think we're going to put this genie back into the bottle with positive affirmations and vision boards? Our children are drowning in this ocean called the internet. Men and women stuck on porn and all kinds of activities to satisfy their flesh. Be careful, people. Pretty soon we won't be able to distinguish between the virtual and the real. We will fry our brains constantly staring at our screens. I understand. You don't want to be lectured to, but what alternative does the world leave me with? Should I just put you to sleep with shiny objects too? How to apply the law of attraction to get everything you want? Wake up the divine feminine so you can attract your prince on a white horse? None of these styles of teachings teach you how to understand your true worth. They are bending the rules to serve their own narrative. The conscious universe cannot be controlled nor manipulated. There are no fixed rules of engagement. Entropy will make sure of that. The only rules that count are between you and your soul. If you are unhappy, find the courage to transcend the beliefs of the collective unconscious by doing your inner work. Don't allow the world to tell you who you are. Learn how to follow your own inner guidance. Freedom of mind is what you need. Unlock yourself and set yourself free. Remember, you are Fabulous One. And these are my reasons why I'm on a mission to help you become the awakened mom. Take care.